Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into the Monday edition here of the Payoff Pitch. I'm, of course, Jason. He's, of course, the Hockey Squirrel. We're coming to you live every single day at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll talk about that baseball slate, give you some props, some pitchers, hitters, totals, overs, unders, money lines, run lines, all that good stuff. But first, let's go to the first inning, quick hits, and get the Squirrel's opening thoughts. What's up, man?
Hey man. Hey man. How's
Hey,
it going?
what's going on?
Hey.
You know, coming in with the
I'm
Monday.
Dude, I'm on a couple hours of sleep, I'm not gonna lie to you. Really actually like 4 to be exact. So I'm a little bit dead today, but I do have some good news. And we only have a couple of people in here watching, so I'm gonna repeat this probably once or twice throughout the show. But I will start off today by saying that the big news at Hockey Squirrel is that for the remainder of the MLB season, so that will be from now, August 1st, until September 15th. So basically, exactly a month and a half. I'm giving away my MLB stuff completely for free for the rest of, I guess, the regular season, roughly ish, until preseason hockey. That will be through the payoff pitch, and it will also be through my Facebook group at Hockey Squirrel Sports Betting. So if you belong to Facebook and you're not a part of my group, go join, because I'll be posting all of my daily analysis videos, my written picks, everything like that, and on this show Monday through Friday.
Okay, cool. I'll add your Facebook group then to this video description so people can get to it nice and easy. I'll get that in there. Cool. Like to see things changing over at hockeysquirrel.com. Love to hear that.
Absolutely. So,
What do I want to talk about in first inning? I got nothing on my notes. What about those bets I gave out on Friday? Gave out 10 bets, had 7 winners. So Friday was cool. Saturday was up and down. Sunday I didn't do any baseball bets, just stuck to NASCAR and had a nice profitable day on the road course there in Indianapolis. I don't know. Ready to just get after it. Weird little baseball slate, small slate. Let's just jump on into it. Let's get into this second inning. We call it around the bases. We'll each take a couple of games. We'll break them down for you guys and give you some winners along the way. I know we both are back in the Mets, so we both just want to start with the Mets. And I don't know, you can see. Somebody actually asked me earlier my thoughts on Mets Nationals. Sometimes I kind of laugh when people ask those questions. It's like it's minus 225, minus 245.
If you need me to tell you that a
What
minus
justification?
245 is likely to win, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I guess unless they're wondering
I
if
think
the
they're just looking.
Nationals can pull it off, or if they're wondering about a total. But it's Scherzer against Corbin. Let's be honest. It's a 2 ERA against a 6 ERA. Just the records alone should speak for themselves. It's 4-14 for Corbin. I think 6-2 for Scherzer. Without even looking, I already know that the Mets are at the absolute top of the list for being one of the best bullpens, if not the best, up there with the Houston Astros, with the New York Yankees. It's going to be the Mets. You got a massive bullpen discrepancy. You've got a massive starter discrepancy. You've got a lot of whatever's going on with Juan Soto and the rest of that Nationals team. I don't know if you're going to find bigger discrepancies. Then you make the Mets an away favorite. Away favorites is exactly where you want to be if you're trying to cash some run line action. I have an 80% money line system and 70% run line systems. So 70% run line at minus 140. There's enough of an edge there that, yeah, it seems like you're paying a lot of juice to win by 2, but to me, statistically, it still makes sense. And there's no reason for me to think that there's anything weird going on with the line movement and the money distribution. So all angles, to me, it's a green check mark, and I'll take that at a minus 140 all day.
Cool. Let's see. What do I want to piggyback on that great analysis right there? Well, let's say I'm also on that Mets run line with you. I gave it out last night at minus 130. I know both of our prices right now can't be found as everybody's backing the Mets, and obviously rightly so. I'll add to it that I've also did the Mets F5 team total over 2.5 runs. I tweeted it last night at minus 105. The best price right now is minus 130. So obviously everybody's just backing the Mets today. I'll expand a little bit on the Mets here. They're second right now in left-handed pitching. We've been backing the Mets most of the season versus left-handers when they're in a good moment. They're in a good moment right now. Second in average, second in on-base percentage, sixth in slugging, and fifth in on-base plus slugging. Seventh best K percentage versus left-handed pitching. You talked about Patrick Corbin. This will now be the third time they've seen him so far this season. Really a struggling July. 23.2 innings pitched, 22 runs, 40 hits. What are you talking about? Running into this hot offense against the Mets. The only thing I'll add that you didn't say is you got to get this little secret little nugget in your back pocket with this game. The Nationals are sellers at any point. And at any moment, the GM could say, these guys get on out of town. The Mets ain't sending any of their good players out of town. They're trying to acquire good players. The Nationals are doing the opposite, including their best player in Juan Soto. So, hey, maybe by the time first pitch comes around, there's some Nationals that are no longer Nationals, and you don't have to worry about it. Regardless, obviously, we're making this bet regardless of the trade deadline. So, all right, that's a play we both like. We're both on the Mets run line, and you can add in that Mets F5 team total for me. I'm going to jump to a second game, and then we'll let you take your second game. I'm going to do Orioles Rangers, first 5 innings, over 4 runs. I like that push option at minus 125. Both of these offenses right now are in the top 10 versus right-handed pitching. Obviously, we like that. We like that Spencer Watkins faced these Rangers just a few weeks ago on July 6th. Had a good outing, 6.2 innings pitched, 1 run, but not expecting him to be as successful this time around. John Gray, if you look at his baseball card, I kind of looked at his game log. It's like, okay, if he faces a below-average team, he has success. When he runs into a good team, he struggles a little bit. Again, both these offenses are ranked in the top 10. Just see both starters struggling through the first 5 innings. So I'll take that F5 over 4 runs at minus 125. What's another game you want to talk about?
I like that play, by the way. Orioles Rangers first 5 over is what you had, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I was entertaining the idea of a full game over last night. I didn't play it. But hey, I mean, nothing really starts till 6 p.m. Central tonight. So that's why I kind of figured I'll see where the distributions are. I'll see where the lines get pushed and base my decisions there. There's a game I've been absolutely waiting for. I'll mention it here in the second inning. Maybe I'll just go ahead and talk about it very briefly. I'm curious to see what the line is going to be on the Detroit Tigers game against the Minnesota Twins. We don't have one. I was up at probably 3:30 in the morning looking at this game last night, or this morning, if you will. And I see Tarek Skubal against somebody that has like an 8 ERA, I think, for the Twins. I forget the name. But I think that the starting pitching is at least where you're going to find your biggest edge in the Detroit Tigers. I would back Skubal. I'm interested in the Tigers, not necessarily a full game, but you're catching the Minnesota Twins coming off a California road trip in San Diego, losing to the Padres last night, I believe. I think it's a decent spot for the Tigers here, and maybe more specifically in the first 5. I think you might be against me, though, for some reason in the first 5 innings.
Yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily against you, but I just give me the team that's, been hitting left-handers really well. They obviously know Skubal from being in the division. If that number comes out at 1.5 because it's Skubal on the mound and, the books will say, okay, we got a good pitcher and a good form. If we get 1.5 at around even money, I may take a stab on that Twins F5 team total, number pending. But, I didn't handicap that game too closely. The Twins, to me, didn't have a starter announced. I just kind of looked at that angle, like, can I focus on the Twins? Because that's what I can research. So, okay, cool. All right, let's shut up and give these guys some pitching props. That's what we do in the third inning. We call it shut up and pitch. I'll go ahead and lead off here. I'm going Spencer Watkins of the Baltimore Orioles to have under 3.5 Ks at plus 120. I mentioned he went up against these Rangers just on July 6th. He only managed 3 Ks, so we would have gotten a good plus 120 cash that day. I'm obviously expecting the same tonight. The Rangers are 14th best right now in K percentage, so obviously middle of the pack versus Ks. I'm going to go with that hitter familiarity because if you look at his game log, this cashed in his first 8 starts, and now it's only cashed in 1 of his last 5. What was that win? Oh, it's against those Rangers that know exactly what my man's going to be throwing tonight because you just saw him 2-3 weeks ago. So I'm going to take a shot on Spencer Watkins under 3.5 Ks at plus 120. Do you have another one, or do you have a pitching prop?
I'm going to fill one of my pitcher prop roles at least with another game analysis because I'm giving everything away for free now, and my strength lies in being a money line player. I would entertain the idea of looking at the Cincinnati Reds to outdo Jesus Luzardo. Hunter Green, as we've talked about, has some pretty disgusting stuff regardless of his ERA numbers, actually. In terms of being a type of pitcher, if you could define him into something, is he a strikeout pitcher, Jason?
I think Hunter Green is. Yep. I think he definitely is. And he's got, the side that he's a rookie. Doesn't have that familiarity. So at least in his rookie season,
Right.
He seems to be racking up the Ks.
Yeah, he absolutely does. I'm looking at his game log. Really, it's hard to find a game for him under 6 strikeouts. So,
Yep.
and July 26th was the last time that he pitched, and it happened to be against the Miami Marlins, who they're going against today. And he racked up 6 there. I don't think the Marlins are very good in terms of batting. Let's take a look at strikeout rates. They're exactly middle of the road, at least in the last 2 weeks. What is the line here for Hunter Green? Because I would be interested. I don't even see that there is one. So when that comes out, I guess if you could get maybe, I don't know, over 4.5, something like that, maybe over 5, 6, I don't know, 5.5. What is it going to be? I don't know.
It's going to be right at 5.5 or 6.5, and I'm going to take the under.
Okay.
I'm going to take the under.
I'm not a big prop player, so I don't know. I don't really handicap them, but I'll take the Reds just straight up. Don't have a number on Hunter Green, so I don't know. I guess if you want to try over 5.5, whatever the juice is, I don't really play props. So.
Well, to piggyback though on what you do play, you talk about playing money lines. It's obviously your strength. This line opened at +1 or plus what was it? Plus 105 we talked about, and now it's already at -110. Something around there?
No, it was plus 120, and now it's minus 105.
Okay, sorry, I was getting those numbers. So, I mean, to your point, everybody's back in the Reds, I think, with good reason. I'm going to give
Right, you're looking at right now 53% bets, 83% money, and the line is zipping down. I mean, you could look at it like, oh, I lost all that value from plus 120 to minus 105. However, what I think you would want to perhaps consider is, yes, you've lost technically 20 cents on the dollar, right? But what you're buying for that 20 cents on the dollar is the confirmation that the line is moving the correct way. Nothing looks weird in terms of reverse line movement. It's the Marlins, and you're getting Hunter Green. I think it makes sense. And so I feel more comfortable with that kind of movement and losing the 20 cents for chance at basically getting something at even odds, and to me, standing better than a 50% implied odds of winning the game.
Okay, all right, let's go Reds. For my second pitching prop, I want to stay right with this game. I was locked in on Hunter Green. Obviously, you said it. We do not have a line. If we get 6.5 or even 5.5, I may take a look at that under. You kind of talked about the Marlins hitting, Marlins strikeout. He got 6 Ks 5 days ago. Don't think he'll be as successful. Still think he'll pitch probably deep in that game. But I think we can hang a good plus money because everybody knows Green, big strikeout guy, rookie, blah, blah, blah. I think we can get a good under at plus money. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. When we get a number and we get the odds, we'll see if we pull the trigger on fading Hunter Green today. Let's move to the 4th inning. We call it long shots. Trying to give these guys some dogs that got a little bark to it. I'll go ahead and kick it off. I have in my notes Reds because, as you mentioned, they were plus 120. But I've given up on taking the Reds as anything on the money line. I'm tired of that bullpen screwing me. Took them last week as a long shot, and I mentioned you just have to avoid that bullpen. That bullpen, to me, almost makes it so the Reds, I don't know how you back them. I mean, to be quite frankly, that bullpen is terrible. So the Reds will not be my long shot. Now it's not a long shot. They're actually the favorite. I've got in my notes, this is going to be a day of favorites. Struggled to find an underdog. I think the best underdog could be your Colorado Rockies at plus 175 taking on the San Diego Padres. They have a massive hitting advantage when it comes to right-handed hitting. Bullpen-wise, both of these bullpens are bad, bottom 10. The Rockies are actually slightly better, though. So while it may be 2 bullpens, you will be getting the better of the 2 bullpens. And I actually think you're getting the starter advantage. Look, this will be the 3rd time the Rockies have seen Clevenger, and this will only be the 2nd time the Padres have seen Senzatella. Kind of like the Rockies today as my underdog. I want to, before you give your underdog, I want to know if you could give me one thing. Do you know what the Rockies win-loss record is, their first game when they leave Colorado and they go wherever they go?
All right. Hold on.
When they're away, what's that
So,
first game after Coors Field win-loss record?
Okay, here. So we're saying team is the Rockies this season, and their last game was at home. Does it matter if they won or lost at home, or just at home?
I don't care. I mean, we can
Okay,
look that
and they're
up
now
for
the
another
away
extra.
team.
And now they're the away team.
2 wins and 6 losses.
Okay, all right. Because I wanted to know that, because I'm really thinking about this Rockies F5 team total over 1.5 runs at plus 115. They're crushing right-handed pitching right now. Absolutely crushing it. Top 5 in Major League. And now this is going to be the third time they're seeing Clevenger. All right, I was curious what that stat would be. So, again, maybe you look for me on Twitter. That stays plus money. It started off at plus 105. It's only gotten bigger, so there's no rush for me to go ahead and grab it. See if it hits plus 120 or something. So, maybe you look for me a little bit later on Twitter. Rockies F5 team total over 1.5 runs. All right, what long shot did you have today?
The Rockies' full game money line has gone plus 190 open down to plus 175.
Hey, I'm on the right side. Yes.
Steam sharp action, and dude, surprisingly, 94% of the money on the Rockies is what I'm looking at.
You heard my analysis. They've got the hitting, pitching, and bullpen advantage, I think, in this game. Rarely do you see that in an underdog, right? You got maybe 1 out of 3 or 1.5 out of 3. I think you're getting all 3 out of 3 today with the Rockies.
Sure. The underdog I was able to come up with, at least last night, is for a very simple reason, actually. It's the starting pitcher and the location that he's pitching at home. Do you know who this is?
Starting pitcher and where? Oh, Logan Webb. You're on Logan Webb.
Absolutely. I'm on Logan Webb and the Giants at a plus 120 against the Dodgers and Andrew Heaney. Andrew Heaney, I think, having only pitched 3 or 4 games for the entire season, he does have good numbers through the relatively few innings that he has pitched. I think 2 out of the 4 games were against pretty low quality teams, we'll call them. And, but he's gone 4 to 6 innings per game, and he's done very, very well in those innings that he has pitched. So it'll be interesting, I guess, to see how they stack up in San Francisco. You're getting the Giants at home coming off of a shutout win yesterday against somebody. The Cubs yesterday.
Cubs, yeah.
And that was the 3rd game for my sweep. I went 3-0 yesterday, and actually, I'm going to drop this in again now just because we're about halfway through the show roughly, and in case anyone missed it at the beginning, I'm now giving away the remainder of my MLB season completely for free in the Hockey Squirrel Facebook group. So if you're on Facebook, definitely join it. It's completely free. I'll be doing YouTube videos and TikTok videos and all that kind of stuff, giving away my picks. But the main aim and the main goal is for me to move into the educational space of sports betting. So that's what I'm really aiming to do, is educate people. I'm now making educational courses at my website and the whole 9 yards. Back to this game, however, with the San Francisco Giants, I gave it out last night as a part of my 25-minute video that I uploaded to Facebook at the plus 120 price point. Logan Webb is now 9-2 at home. There has not been a spot all season where Logan Webb has started a game and the Giants have been home underdogs. This will be the first time that has happened this season. But when you're getting a trend for a pitcher that is 9-2 at plus 120, 64% of the money's on the game, I'm going to go ahead and grab the San Francisco Giants as my underdog.
Logan Webb at home. Hard to ignore with or argue with that. Is what I meant to say. All right, let's keep this train moving. Let's move it over now to keep swinging. We got to give these guys some hitting props.
Hey, you got a system there on the Rockies, buddy. I don't know if you read that. Taylor Chan comes to us with fading the Rockies coming off of a homestead, playing with no rest, has been 120 and 76 over the last 16 seasons with a 5.8 ROI.
There it is, right there.
FWIW. I don't know. FWIW. I don't even know what that means.
For what it's worth.
So,
love that. All right. Hey, Rockies. That was my long shot of the day. Love that. You've brought some good backing up that up. Taylor's backing it up. All right. We got to keep swinging. Got to give these guys some winner. I was on fire last week on picking 2 guys to get a hit and dropping them in one parlay at plus money. Here's your parlay today. It's Bregman, of the Houston Astros, 8 for 18 versus Eovaldi, 3 doubles and a home run. How about Pete Alonso against Patrick Corbin? 12 for 33, 4 home runs and 2 doubles. That parlay of each one of those guys to get at least one hit is plus 109. Plus 109. Then we got a question from Brian. He says, who can hit a home run today? All right, I got you, Brian. Who can hit a home run today? What about Pete Alonso? He's got 4 home runs up against Pat Corbin. But if you want somebody on that same team that's got just as many homers against Patrick Corbin that can give you a better return on your investment, go to J.D. Davis. Got just as many home runs against Corbin as Pete Alonso does. So it's hard. I'm going to pick on Corbin. I'm going to pick on the Mets and hot hitting. So to me, it's either Alonso
Take
or Davis.
any Mets player, I think.
I know. But I would go with those two guys.
If you need further confirmation of why the Mets are a good pick, just look at the batter versus hitters. It seems though we got to say that there's familiarity at least because Scherzer's been around forever, and so has Nelson Cruz. He's like 55 years old. I'm kidding, but he is up there. Seriously, I think he's like 41 or something. But it would make sense that they've had a lot of at bats and plate appearances against him, but. Whatever, dude. It's Max Scherzer and Patrick Corbin. You're not gonna find much of a better matchup, and I'm glad that the Mets are an away favorite because statistically that makes them win on the run line like 8 or 9% higher because you're not having to deal with in the 9th inning if it's a close game or. If you're winning, you don't even get last bats, right? Mm-hmm. That's right. So if you're winning by 1, you don't take your last bat. So that screws you automatically on the run line. If it's a tie game, you now have to win on a walk-off home run of 2 or more runs, whether it's the bottom of the 9th or extra innings. And extra innings, that's even harder to do now because you start with a guy on second base. So the likelihood of, you're going to need like a 3-run homer. It just stacks the odds very much so against you in the event of a close game. So it's Mets all day. I mean, I don't know how much of a better play you can honestly make. And, hey, if they lose that game, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't.
If they lose that game, it's a big baseball season. You bet in a good spot. You don't even care. You go to bed and you sleep fine if they lose. Who cares?
No, we're going to rage and we're going to talk about how rigged it is. No, I'm kidding. No, but that's going to be if that loses, going to be the killer of the last leg of everyone's parlay out there.
Sure. Just like the Blue Jays did to me on Friday when I was on TikTok boasting about how I had the perfect 3 leg. Remember that triple play on Friday? God, the Blue Jays. I'm tired of the Blue Jays. I'll get to that rant here in a little bit. Or maybe tomorrow when they play. But I'm tired of the Blue Jays. They're too inconsistent. You can't know when to back them, fade them.
Well, and I would argue that the Yankees have been that way recently. Losing, yesterday to the Royals, losing to, I don't know who. Garrett Cole to the Baltimore Orioles. I feel that way about certain teams that have been excellent. But one thing I want to equate this to is my analysis or at least my observation of every single hockey season in the last 5, 6, 8 years has been that after the All-Star break, as you get towards the back half of the season, the good teams that typically know that they've already made the playoffs, they may be tanking a couple games for some kind of seeding position. This is what happens. I've seen it over and over with teams like the Tampa Bay Lightning. They'll be minus 400 to minus 600, and they lose to the Arizona Coyotes. How does that just magically happen? Do they underestimate the opponent? Do they quit trying as hard because they know they've already made it? Are they preserving players due to not wanting to injure them, right? A lot of different things to consider. Also, not that the better teams would be tanking for draft picks, but another thing to consider for maybe among the worst teams.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff right there. All right, let's move over to the 6th inning. We call it It's a Steal. We got to give these guys a steal today. I'll hit you with my best NRFI at the end, but it's not my steal that I want to give out because I didn't really like a lot of
Don't hit me, bro. Yeah.
I'm going to do that Reds F5 team total. Over 1.5 runs at minus 140. You mentioned Jesus Luzardo's on the mound. He's coming back off the DL list. In his last rehab start, he let minor league players cash this bet. Yeah, went 4.2 innings pitched, gave up 2 runs, and even threw in another 4 walks. Walks are not new to this guy. His season-long walks is 4, 3, 2, 4, 2, 1. This is what's going to happen. He's going to put on a free pass to somebody, and then the next guy's going to hit a 2-run bomb, and we're going to go to the cash counter. This guy's not that good. Reds are hot right now versus left-handed hitting. They're 8th in the bigs in terms of hitting left-handers. And all the stats that I give you guys in terms of, average and slugging and on base plus slugging, all that, walk percent, all that. They're top 10 in all that. Hot hitting team versus left-handers. This guy coming in has no control, not very good. Yeah, Reds have 5 team total, over 1.5 runs. If I was to give you guys a NRFI and say, what's your best NRFI of the day? Well, acknowledging to me, at least from a stat perspective, none of these NRFIs really line up. It's your Royals and White Sox. Royals and White Sox, go sweat 6 ounces of glory if you want. That one's going to be sweaty. So I think a lot of NRFIs will be today, but I think that one is the best one. And today, what do you have today that's a steal?
Among the line that we were talking about that hasn't come out yet with the Detroit Tigers, the only line that I see that's been set is that some random book that I've never used. I just happened to see it. Sugar House, if you're familiar with it, I don't know. Is it even a reputable book? I have no idea. But this is the only line I see coming out. And the over-under, at this book at least, is set at 7 for the Detroit Tigers and the Minnesota Twins. What are your thoughts on that? I think it's too low. Seems weird to me that it would be that low.
Who's the starter you said has an 8 ERA? Because I got nothing. Who's this guy? Who are you saying starting?
Sanchez. Aaron Sanchez. I think his name was Aaron. Aaron Sanchez. Three wins, 3 losses have been credited to him. He's a right-hander.
Was he on the Giants? Was he on the Giants either last year or the year before?
Yes, he was. Last year, San Francisco. And then Washington Nationals and now Minnesota Twins. So he's been traded all over the place.
Yeah, I'm going to gravitate towards, though, if I'm backing a team in that, give me the Twins that hit left-handers, and I don't want anything with the Tigers because they just don't hit right-handed pitching. So, they're hitting 204 right now.
If you're looking at recent statistics, the Twins actually aren't that far off of the Detroit Tigers. Neither team has been amazing recently, as far as I can tell. And beyond Skubal, nothing out of that bullpen I would trust. I can't say I would trust the Twins pitching, whether it's starting or, I guess, the bullpen. I don't think it's top-tier elite. It's not Cincinnati Reds bad, but 7 runs, though. I think it might be a little bit low, but there's also going to be a reason why it's set at 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what that reason would be, but
Skubal.
That's the only
reason. That's why I think we're going to get that team total at 1.5 at near even money. I'll probably jump on it.
Okay, well, I guess as a steal, I might say I would play the over 7 if it comes out as that at the actual reputable books. Beyond Sugar House, I don't know what to expect with this line, and I don't know why it's taking so long that we're at 11 in the morning for this game and still not getting anything on it.
Yeah, I don't show a starter anywhere, so I can only assume that's the only reason. We don't know who's pitching for the Twins. But all right, I'm assuming we both got the same coming to a stretch where we give out our best bet of the day. I'm assuming we've got the same best bet. What's your best bet?
It's the Mets. Oh, dude, it's the Mets.
Mine's
If you're looking for underdog value, though, I think you're spot on with the Rockies, and I think the other good spot for that would be the Giants. I don't think there are many underdog spots that are legitimately expected to win. I heard a couple people make the argument for the Seattle Mariners today. Personally, I don't love it, really. But I know a few people were interested in it at the very least. What does that leave you with? Well, you're not going to take the Boston Red Sox, that's for sure. I would not back Brad Keller in any scenario.
The Mariners are hitting 189, and that ranks 29th in the major leagues for right-handers. Now's not the day to back them with the left-hander on the mound when the Yankees crush left-handers. You're not betting in a good spot taking the Mariners today.
Right. So I'm going to say it's going to be the Reds, the Mets, the Rockies, and the Giants, basically. The only thing I think we didn't talk about for this whole show has been the Diamondbacks and the Guardians. If you've had any opinion on that at all,
I do.
I
We
don't
haven't
know.
got. We
Are the
haven't filled out
Diamondbacks
all
a
9
viable
innings yet.
option?
We haven't gotten to all 9 innings yet. I'll definitely be talking about those
okay.
Guardians. My best bet of the day, though, is with you. Mets run line, Mets F5 team total. Let's just keep on moving. Let's get to that double play. People out there want to parlay. They say parlay me on this Monday. Coming in this weekend, got my bar tab still open. Forgot to go back. I get my credit card. I need to pay this thing. How are we going to pay off that tab today, Squirrel? What's your parlay?
You could go Mets run line and a Yankees money line. Would give you basically a plus 160.
Okay.
Mathematically, I don't know. I haven't figured that out. Hey, by the way, though, just as a side note, I never play parlays. This is just for fun, right? This is seriously just for fun. If we were going to make one, we know that the audience, the general audience, does play them, and so we try to help out in doing so. But I, in no way, literally, actually endorse doing a parlay, even a 2-teamer. Just not something I really generally ever do. They're very rare. If I give them out to my customers, it's going to be maybe 1 to 3 times for an entire season. This is not like a daily thing by any means, but this is more just for fun. So I'll go with the Mets run line, Yankees money line, call it a plus 160, and we're good there.
Yeah, I obviously play parlays a little bit more than you, but I try and keep them to 2-teamers. My 2-teamer today is Yankees and Guardians. Yankees and Guardians, you're getting all the advantages in both of those matchups. Diamondbacks have some guy coming up off the DL that we are familiar with him. We faded Zach Davies. Cleveland Guardians, boy, they're just crushing right-handers right now. So, yeah, to me, it's Guardians, Yankees is plus 161, and I don't have to overthink it. I think that's an absolute no-brainer right there. Alex L. says he can throw in the Astros in a parlay. Sure. Tons of advantages today over the Red Sox. We'll get to that one in rapid fire. First, let's go ahead and give these guys all of our bets, and then let's do rapid fire. Well, we'll talk about all these games from a money line, run line, and over-under perspective. I will be adding to it. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. I'm curious what that Hunter Green line comes out at. I'm curious what that Twins F5 comes in at. And then I like the over in the F5 perspective in White Sox and Royals. I'm waiting to see. That number is only getting better in our favor, so no reason to buy it just yet. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. It's Mets run line at minus 130. Mets F5 team total over 2.5 runs at minus 105. Take that F5 over 4 and Rangers and Orioles at minus 125. Let's go ahead and do that Reds F5 team total over 1.5 runs at minus 140. And Spencer Watkins there of the Baltimore Orioles staying under 3.5 Ks at plus 120. You're rolling with a couple, Mets and Giants. Cool.
Right. I think if you're going to join the group, I may make a video for the people that don't watch the payoff pitch, or I'll do some written analysis anyway. I think I'm going to hop on the Reds just because I'm in love with the line movement. I mean, it's massive movement. I'll go ahead and fade Luzardo, so I'll take a minus 105 on the Reds, and I think I'm also going to get down on the Colorado Rockies as that line's just dropping with 90% of the money on a team that started out as a plus 190. I'll take the underdog value there. So I'll go Mets run line, Giants money line, Rockies money line, and the Reds money line, or maybe the pitcher prop, I guess. Whatever. But if I'm giving everything away for free anyway, there you go. That's what I'm looking at.
Smells like a sweep to me. I love those 4 picks. Let's go ahead and jump into BetUS, and let's talk about all these games from a money line, run line, over-under perspective with live lines. Let's kick it off with Reds and Marlins. Over-under of 8. Reds minus 105. Marlins minus 115. I'm going under 8. Under 8. Hunter Green's got a deal. Under 8.
I'll just keep repeating myself because I'm a money line player, and I think that's what's going to win. So,
Mets and Nationals over under of 8.5. Mets minus 250. Nationals plus 210. The run line is all the way up to minus 150.
Minus 150. Yuck, dude.
Taking. Oh man, that's close. That over under is kind of bang on. Yeah, hopefully you got it at minus 130 when I sent the tweet out last night. I was still buying it at minus 150. Mets are cruising. Give me that Mets run line.
So, statistically, that gives you an implied probability of 60% at minus 150. I have the game coming in at 70%, so it still is theoretically valuable. However, minus 130 was excellent. Minus 140 was fine. -1. I mean, it's diminished value, but it still is the most expected thing to happen here. So, no way I'm backing the Nationals. So,
Yeah, no way on this planet Earth. We got the Mariners in the Bronx tonight to take on the Yankees with an over/under of 9 on BetUS. Mariners plus 160. Yankees are at minus 190. I'll go under 9. Mariners second worst batting average versus right-handers. Domingo Germán took a step forward after that in that second start. That was against another good team. Let's see what he can do against a crummy Mariners team that has regressed versus right-handers. I'll go under 9 with obviously the understanding that everybody knows I like Yankees.
is Marco Gonzalez or the bullpen of the Mariners good enough to keep the Yankees from like hitting the 9 on their own?
That's a good question. I don't think Gonzalez is that bad.
Okay. I don't know. For the sake of like not wanting to go against necessarily what I literally just got done saying with taking home favorites on the run line, I don't feel that I would want to pay minus 190 for it. I think I might try the home team run line of the Yankees if we're expecting the Marlins. Mariners. I get the Mariners and Marlins mixed up, I swear. I've done it for years. I don't know why. If we're expecting the Mariners to not really put up much in way of offense, should keep the score lower. I know Domingo Germán's numbers haven't been outstanding, but I don't think he's pitched many games, and I know that the bullpen of the Yankees is outstanding. So if I'm expecting the score to be lower on the Mariners side, I will go ahead and try to take my chances for the home team run line.
All right, the other team in my double play to go with those Yankees is those Guardians, who are hosting the Diamondbacks tonight with an over/under of 9 on BetUS. Diamondbacks plus 135, Guardians minus 155. If you don't mind a little juice, go to minus 155 and back the Guardians. So many advantages there to the Diamondbacks, so I'll just stick to that Guardians money line at minus 155. What about for you?
Okay, I'll believe you because I didn't really look at the game, to be honest. But I can see an overwhelming amount of action coming in on the Guardians, so I won't even test the waters with the Diamondbacks there.
Yeah, don't do that. All right, Orioles and Rangers over/under of 7.5. Orioles plus 140. Rangers minus 165.
I think that total fell a half a point from 8 last night.
Oh, it's falling down. Okay. Wow. That means my F5 number, people are, if they didn't bet it last night with my tweet, they're
I
probably
think so. Let me, it came out at 8 and it's 7.5, and all the action's on the under, and the line is responding accordingly. So a little bit sketchy for you there, I guess, but.
No, not sketchy. I love going against the public. Are you kidding me? I love going against dumb money that aren't following the stats. Give me the over. I'm taking over 7.5 here in rapid fire too. The over is juiced at minus 120 compared to even money, so that number will go right back to 8. It's probably going to bounce between 7.5 and 8. Give me over 7.5. Cash in the first 6 innings of the game.
Okay.
Royals and White Sox up next with an over/under of 9. Royals plus 140. White Sox minus 165 on BetUS. I like the F5 over in this a lot. I always hate full game overs generally, but I'll go over 9. I'll say over 9.
Probably by way of White Sox doing the most of the damage, I would think, against Brad Keller especially. And then I don't think the Royals' bullpen's very good. Royals have been hitting, I think, though, haven't they? I mean, offensively, I don't think they're like bottom of the barrel, but
they're 9th right now versus right-handers. You're getting 2 teams in the top 10 in terms of hitting right-handers. That's why I love the F5 over. Kopech has terrible control. He'll put 35 guys on bases for free.
I'll take the over. And it came out 8.5. It's moved to 9. I think everything was good there. Yeah, I'll take that over 9 and the Royals and the White Sox.
Red Sox and Astros up next with an over/under of 7.5. Red Sox plus 155. Astros minus 180. I think this is a good parlay piece with the Astros on the money line.
I do too.
Man, that Red Sox bullpen is bottom right now. Absolutely bottom. It's ferocious.
Everything's terrible. Even the batting. I mean, strikeout rate, they're number 1 or number 2 up there with Pittsburgh Penguins. I don't know why I just said that. Pirates, not the Penguins. I did this last night too. The first thing that came to my head, I said Washington, and first thing that came to my head was Wizards. So I'm sitting there in a video talking about basketball out of nowhere. I don't even like basketball. I don't know why that came to my head, but you get going with so many teams, and this is the result of doing it every single day.
I'm doing Astros run line. Astros run line for me. Astros
cool.
run line.
I don't. Yeah. Oh, they're what? Home team again.
Mm-hmm.
I might pony up the minus 180 here. I don't know why I feel more comfortable. Well, I do know why. I feel more comfortable about that as a money line than I would paying minus 190 for the Yankees. By far.
Astros have all like massive advantages right now against the Red Sox. I love it. Absolutely.
And hey, I'm not gonna sit here and say like it's never illogical to bet a minus 200 on the money line or a minus 180 on the money line. There are times where it is actually very logical to bet even a minus 220 on the money line if your expected value or your expected win rate is high enough. I think to avoid the fact that I would need to win by 2, I would take the minus 180. I really would.
All right, let's move over to Rockies and Padres, where they've fallen to minus 170 just since we've been talking. Everybody's hopping on those Rockies. Over under of 7.5 over on BetUS. I'm sticking with my favorite dog of the day. It's the Rockies at plus 170 now.
Yeah, absolutely. As a massive value play. Yeah, I don't see why not.
And then at the end of the night, we'll be in San Fran with the Dodgers coming into town with an over-under of 8. Dodgers minus 140. Giants plus 120. We know you're obviously on the Giants. I'll just take over 8. I think the Dodgers will rake. I think the Giants will rake. I think everybody's going to be raking in that game. Give me over 8.
What are they, Gardeners?
The what?
I'm going to take... Are they Gardeners? Everybody's raking? Everyone's raking. I'll take Logan Webb at the trend of 9-2 at home, straight up. Against Andrew Heaney. Yes, it's the Dodgers. Oh well. I'm going to take the home team plus 120.
I'm going to see if while we're hanging out live, if we got any of those bets I said to check me out on Twitter. And if so, maybe I'll give them out right here. Let's see if we've got any line for Hunter Green. We got a line for Hunter Green. It's an over-under of 6.5 and even money. Bang. I'm going to see if another book's got a better price, but you can back it. The tweet will come out within minutes. I'm on it. It came out at 6.5. I'm on it. I'm going to see if we got a better price. No better price on that book, so I'll end up tweeting that here in a second. Let's see if we get a Twins F5 team total while we're hanging out. Let me scroll up. I don't see one. Don't even see the game on the board. Still, it's not on the board. All right, so we're at least adding one bet. I'm under 100 Green.
Whoa! Jacob deGrom's pitching tomorrow.
Yeah, everybody's going to be on the Mets again tomorrow. Don't worry.
Whoa! Yeah. I just saw that. I didn't even know, dude.
Yeah, I was up to speed on that one. DeGrom's back. This is why they're the World Series. I think this is why they'll come out of the National League. You're getting DeGrom and Scherzer in a 7-game series. You're facing these guys 4 times. Get out of here. They're going to be in the World Series without a doubt.
Hey, because I'm giving everything away for free anyway for the rest of the season here.
Give it to me.
I think if you're looking just topically. Just talk. What are you doing here?
I want everything for free. Just give it to me, dog.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think just like on the surface, if you're looking at the Mariners, lay off of it today. Tomorrow, you get Logan Gilbert already right now at a plus 140. I think it perhaps may fall there. And have you ever heard of a pitcher named Nick Nelson before? Because I certainly have not. Nick Nelson. That will be the pitcher for the Phillies against Spencer Strider of the Braves. And he's at home. Home run line then would be minus 115. Just things I'm looking at that I like off the bat, no pun intended. But I think there's a lot to be said for early value as well. So maybe 2 spots to dig into over 24 hours in advance.
Okay. Nice. You're predicting a minus 115 on the Braves? Or you see that somewhere?
No. It's the run line price at the home team with Spencer Strider. It's minus 240 on the money line, but among home team run lines that I would take that against Nick Nelson, who I've never heard of in my entire life.
Cool. I've officially bet Hunter Green at even money under 6.5 Ks. I'll send a tweet out for anybody not watching the show, but that is a bet. That is the best price at even money. Right now, under 6.5 Ks, he'll have success, but he ain't striking. In this cash, in his last start, let's not make it sound like, I'm asking him to be better. I'm asking you just be the same, my man. Just be the same what you did 5 days ago, and I'll get a nice even money cash. 100 green for me. Cash 5 days ago. Let's look for another cash today.
It's going to be some horrible bullpen day tomorrow for the Phillies. They're starting out with either that Nick Nelson guy, and then they're going to Mark Appel or Appel, Mark Appel. Neither of these guys.
I know that guy.
Ah,
I'm pretty sure this is the hot young prospect drafted number 1. Couldn't get to the bigs. Made his first appearance earlier this season. Took him like 38 years to get to the bigs. I think he's from Texas, if I recall correctly, somewhere around in that area. Either way.
Yeah, he's a 31-year-old pitcher from the minor leagues.
Yeah, he's trash.
Okay, well, then back Strider, and yeah, cool.
All right, let's go ahead and end this show. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. Man, got some good bets today. Can't wait to sit here tomorrow. We can talk about all these winners tomorrow. That's going to feel good with everybody. Hey, thank you for joining. Appreciate the comments. Thank you sitting there just enjoying it, hitting that like button on your way out. We do appreciate it. Let's cash some bets. Good luck, fellas, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody.
Absolutely. See you, buddy.